Okay, so back to another replay analysis. This time we are going to coach the game lead member Liubich. He actually is the anti-mage here. You can see here this Mage guy. He said that he had an anti-mage game where they had an extremely bad early game. He was alone versus two offlaners and had the battle fury only at 20 minutes plus. And the game has been bad for a long time. However, at some point of time he broke off from his chains of kill trades and suddenly became able to kill a lot of enemies, even escaping things like Slark and bloodseeker, seemingly after just building an Aghanims. However, he was more than sure that there were more factors that led to his team turning the game completely around over just one, so more than just a single team fight which turned the game around. Then he asked for a coaching. Okay, so let's take a look into this game. I don't know. I will also talk about a little about the draft and how I perceive it. So let's see if I can look at it well enough. Okay, that's not gonna work.
10 seconds to go.
Oh, those sometimes screws up. Okay, what do we hear? Puck leaner.
10 seconds to go.
What's happening?
5
Oh, okay.
seconds.
We got Puck, leaner, and invoker.
Radiant.
Gonna speed it up a little. Okay, then we got a warlock pick. When does he pick any mage? Let's see. So, good stuff. Up until now, everything's fine. Like, oh, people are calling, stealing nicknames. Okay. I think this is okay. With leaner and Puck, an AM has more than enough targets to do something. Like, both leaner and Puck are vulnerable to any mage. They are intelligence heroes. Even though Puck has a lot of escape mechanisms, he might not be the first or the best target. Slark is okay-ish. Like, yeah, in the later stages of the game, he really fucks up because he steals anti-mage stats, and anti-mage is a stat-based carry. So, getting rid of anti-mage agility is really useful as a Slark. But nonetheless, he does not have as much disable in order to do something against the Slark. It's rather, I'd say, an equal trade, considering that anti-mage can take Slark's mana away, which results in him not being able to Q out of any disables and not being able to ult properly unless he does it before. So I think AM versus Slark is okay. Slark might build an Orchid Malevolence in order to counter the anti-mage. If he takes a look at his farm, it's decent. Okay, bloodseeker is a rather big problem since he stops you from moving around. He can catch up to you. Okay, let's see what's the last pick of the enemy's team. Gonna speed up a little. Okay, then we have a Phantom Lancer. I think that. Okay. As said, Slark is similar to, like, I think Slark and Anti-Mage can both be equal or are equal to some extent. But the PL pick is really something I'd be more concerned about. Like, yes, in the early stages when Anti-Mage gets his Battle Fury and PL does not have a lot of HP, then Anti-Mage is definitely like able to kill his illusions, get a lot of gold out of it. But in the later stages, when PL illusions have a lot of HP, they can take away anti-mage's mana, and in the later stages, when you're low on mana as an anti-mage, you kind of lose your killing threat because you cannot go into the backlines, killing out their supports, stuff like that. And like, you would also not be able to man-fight the bloodseekers. Pretty early pick, but I think it pays out better than expected. They could have picked worse heroes to counter you, so I think that's okay. I hate these overlays because they can be sped up. Okay, let's see what you're gonna do. From the enemy's lineup, I would guess that they pretty much have either a leaner or a Puck offlane. Puck would be the more common choice since she has an escape mechanism. She can be put into the offlane. Leaner will be mid. or the bloodseeker will be jungling, I'm pretty sure. Okay, they like their draft is not going to tell anything, so I would expect to have like the worst case scenario is if you have something like okay, okay, let's think about it. I'm pretty sure they will not put 2 heroes in the top lane. Why is that? Because Slark is a pretty weak laner. And I don't see this draft fitting together at all if they do not put Phantom Lancer in the mid lane. Like PL mid, Bloodseeker probably jungle, Slark is in the bot lane, and then you leave, yeah, as said before, either Lino or Park will be the ones staying in the off lane. Eventually both, but I wouldn't be too sure about this. So, okay, what do we see here? We have the Park advancing. Starting items are okay. Better pack more regen than less. Yeah, if they put, as said before, Park Leaner in the off lane, you will have a hard time. But yeah, you said there are 2 heroes in the off lane. So from what I see now, I'm pretty sure that this is the Puck Bloodseeker combo in the top lane. Okay, so packing more regen is good. The Bloodseeker otherwise can simply trade with you. I already, like we talked about this last time, I don't think you should be standing here. You said it's for safety purposes. I think it's simply stupid. You can simply walk up here and you will see this area covered. So if people knew you would be standing here, they could also wrap around like you and you could not see anything. You cannot see them approaching, so you should definitely be standing on the point or at least on this side instead of this side. Like enemies are not going to come from this side, or at least you would see them if they rotated around here, most likely. So I think it's stupid to stay there. Okay, your team does this movement as a team, that's fine. Good idea, like they can kill someone off. It's a good decision, but they are probably not able to. Okay, the slugs get the pounds. That's okay, but this is common. Okay, so yeah, now you move here. Like worst case scenario, there would be standing a Leaner, Park, and Bloodseeker and would instantly kill you now. But yeah, that's fine. Okay. You get the bounty rune. I'm not sure why you're walking towards the lane. You should be blocking your own creep wave off in order to be closer to the tower. Instead, you go for the side job in order to get the quelling blade, which is risky, I think. As said before, you might have to range creep to ranged enemies. So I would have gone for the PMS earlier. Yeah, you even like stay AFK. Oh no, you shop. But you're not paying attention to your creep wave. But it's essential that you block your range creep in front and block the creep wave as a whole to be closer to the tower. Because you put yourself in a lot of danger like that. Okay, what you gonna do? This is exactly why I think the quelling blade is not worth spent. You see 2 enemies approaching and you immediately are scared to go there. And this is basically because you do not think that you have enough protective mechanisms. So it's definitely like, you should have definitely taken the PMS first instead of the quelling blade. Like, when you're not, this is just 200 gold wasted. When you do not manage to go for any last hit because you feel scared, why do you get a quelling blade? So this doesn't make any sense. In a situation like this, I can only advise you to look at this. If you would be standing a little closer, like there's an EXP range, I'm pretty sure you're still in it. Let me check. Creep dies. Good experience. I'm pretty sure you gain some from the range you stood in. Yeah, you got 1 from that one. And yeah, you get experience from that one as well. So you're standing in the experience range, but nothing more. You could be standing a little bit closer because even if they run at you, you still have a blink, right? They cannot stop you from blinking out. The Puck is not common. It's not common to get the warning rift in the beginning, especially like it doesn't silence long, so you should be fine. Even the Bloodseeker revealed that he had Blood Rage instead of Blood Rite, so you're pretty fine on your own. What I want to talk about instead is like what you should be doing is you should at least be closer to the creep wave, and whenever there's a situation approaching where this creep is slow, okay, it was a little bit too fast. Okay, right here you can see that this creep gets slow. If you right now draw aggro by issuing an attack command, this creep will walk towards you. Like if you're close enough, you need to be in a, I think, 600 range. So you should be somewhere around maybe this area. And the creep will walk towards you. It will take a little bit damage, and it needs a lot of practice to do this, but when it reaches you, you can kill it and thus get the last hit and secure at least that you get some farm instead of just hanging around doing nothing. Because like this, like your early game is shit, and as an anti-mage, you usually don't want or as a carry in general, you don't want to have a shitty early game. Like anti-mage is good because you can farm back up, but yeah, you see, you can do this. You will get this. You just need to time it correctly, and you could have gotten the last hit. Okay. Definitely focus on the deny here. The range creep is has a lot of net worth, or gives a lot of net worth. I wouldn't go back here and drag them through the tower because it would just it would just result in you not getting the last hit, so you can simply tank it. You have enough regen, and if you stay that far behind, you can simply use a tango, tank it. Yeah, as said before, you should definitely be closer and do aggro tricks in order to get some last hits. But it's advanced stuff, so like in 2 minutes in, you didn't do anything. Like you didn't pop a tango, you just stood there doing nothing. I'm not sure why they decided to go for an offensive tri-lane. I think it wasn't the best option. Like Earthshaker alone versus a PL is pretty decent on its own. Like they messed up with 2 of the cores and should be able to stop them from farming, but Slark is pretty good at farming backup, and so is PL. I think both of them are better to farm backup because they just need levels. Anti-mage needs a little, at least a little farm. Like you need to get your Battle Fury to farm backup. Okay, so what's gonna happen now? You wait really long to get a Slow Shield. Okay, like this should not happen. This is exactly why you should get PMS. First off, you can tank the creep wave. Second thing is just look how much damage you take. Okay, you were at 550, and after 2 puck hits you were at 440, and you back off. Just imagine if you would have had a PMS, like that would have cost you a little, but maybe like 30 HP instead of over 100. So yeah, as said before, in a bad lane, focus more on getting the PMS instead of going for the Quelling Blade first. Okay, now you get some help with a Bounty Hunter. That's good, that's better. Okay, you got a last hit there. Yeah, like see how the Quelling Blade was just 200 gold wasted. Got 6 last hits and 3. Should have gone for the PMS instead. Okay, I'm not sure. Yeah, I would in this scenario I would not blink in. I would always walk and blink out. If anything bad happens, now you have to walk back. Anything bad happens while you walk there, you can blink out. Okay, you start using your regen. That's fine. I think also like going for the Ring of Health next is a good decision. Yeah, you missed out on last hit. Okay, that was just dumb. That was just a wasted last hit. You could have gotten that one. Let's see what's happening. You get harassed by the puck. I'm not sure why you're not trading hits, like you're just tanking. Just go at her and hit her a little. Okay, she's pretty greedy there. Just attack her. I'm not sure what you're scared of. Because like if you attacked her, instead of walking in the direction of the bloodseeker, yeah. Okay, so like this is a death you have to, like, this is simply because you misplayed it. Okay, what's gonna happen? You hit him once. For whatever reason, you decide to blink. You shouldn't have hit him there. You should have, like, before you soaked up so many hits and not doing anything. The second you blinked out, you had the best opportunity to use the healing salve, because like what's gonna happen? Like you should, right now you should be walking away from the op, that's what you do. And you should have popped the salve before, because it's the longest duration you can rely on the healing salve. Like the second she used the orb, instantly used the healing salve. Or you could have used it before, right after you blinked, because there was nothing going to stop you from regening. Like the creeps do not block the healing salve, and let's just say you would have used it for maybe like 4 seconds. You would have like 300 HP now. You could attack the bloodseeker, and he would die now. He would have died before you would have been dead. And at least they kill him now. At least he's dead. That's good. But definitely a mistake you made on your own. Like you just survived that. Okay. This is pretty greedy. Like you burned through all your region already. You do not have any more now. You need 400 more gold to reach the Ring of Health. But instead you decide to not get any region with you before you go into the lane. I think you should have at least gotten some tangos this time around. Like just to make sure that you have enough region. Okay, this is also bad. Like the bounty hunter is taking your farm. This is shitty, but nothing you can do about it. Okay, this is a time, like the bloodseeker just died. He just got back. You can be aggressive on this pocket when he pops the clarity. This obvious. Just go at him and hit him once. Burn a little bit of his mana. It would make your laning stage a lot easier. Okay, the bounty hunter does it, but you just really in durations where you have nothing else to do, just make sure that you trade hits with the puck, because if you burn his mana, he's pretty much useless. Like his auto attack damage is okay, but not the best in the game, so you don't need to fear it as much. Okay. I would rather, like in this particular scenario, I would rather risk pushing the lane and then pulling, instead of like being this stagnant. Like you're not getting anything, basically. Yeah, pop some tangos so you can be more aggressive. Okay, this is greedy. You should have reacted a little bit faster there. Okay, he tries. Okay, this is good. You dodged it. Okay, yes, have used. You could have been more aggressive if you had some more tangos. And gotten like, at least, to come up with the tangos you just need 3 last hits, so I think this would have been something you could have done. Okay, this is good. This is good, like you burn through all the pucks region. But it was, for me, it was a bad decision to go back. Even though the bloodseeker already has boots. I think the second you got the puck boom, it's pretty much 2 versus 1. Like the puck is not going to make a huge difference then, and you could have attacked the bloodseeker, drained a lot of his mana, and at least force them to use the shrine. Okay, now the puck used the shrine alone, which is even better. As said before, you shouldn't be as defensive. Just trade a few hits with this guy. Right now, you should also be trading hits instead of like rushing to kill the range creep. Always trade hits. Like when these guys are low on mana, it's way better for you. You're always way safer. Okay, you should know by now that this guy used the shrine on his own. So, yeah. Okay, you dodge the spells. They are pushing into you. There's the last hit you can get. Okay, you take it. It's fine. Okay, yeah, as you said, your early game really went shitty, but I think it's at least to some extent onto you. Like, you should have a support, but your itemization by getting the Quelling Blade really made a huge difference. and coming back into the lane without a new set of tangos was also kind of risky. Okay. Like the bounty hunter, even though he takes your farm, is really doing decent stuff. The second you saw the sunstrike coming in here, I think you should have gone and kill the puck. Like, you take way too long. He dies, but okay, he does not. But okay, don't chase him here. It's not your job to kill him off. You should be going for the bloodseeker and burn all his mana. And yeah, you managed to kill him, but you die in return. If you had just attacked the bloodseeker 2 times more, the bounty hunter would have gotten the puck kill, and you could have survived, I think. Like, yeah. Okay, yet again, right now I would not go back with a TP. I would go back with a TP scroll, not that I would get another set of tangos, but I think that the gloves of haste here are definitely the wrong decision. I would go for boots because they simply allow you to run around more, to dodge more attacks, to dodge more harass, to come back later into the game, stuff like that. Going for the third skill point in Blink is also, I think, it's not worth it. Instead, you should get mana breaks, since both Bloodseeker as well as Puck get a lot weaker when they are not able to use their mana. Basically every hero, or most of the heroes, get way weaker when they do not have mana. But Puck is a special scenario for that. And Bloodseeker, you cannot silence you cannot blood rage you, on top of any Puck disabled, so yep. Okay, ult, yeah, probably. Like, instead you could be 2-2-1 now, or 2-3-1 now. I think that would have been the better option. Like, you rarely have the opportunity to use Mana Void up until now. So another thing you could have done in the earlier stages is just swap around. Like, just go to the bot lane, make use of your Mana Break and the Quelling Blade you got, and farm other lanes, because yeah, as said before, I think that Anti-Mage is not as good as coming back as PL and Slark, because both of them only need levels, and you really need items in order to come back. So I think it would have been a better trade to just go there, okay, you do this well, this is cold. At this stages of the game, when the Bloodseeker hit level 6, you should just always carry your TP, because you can simply counter him. Like, just imagine, okay, this guy ults you, you blink into the trees and TP out. So what's he gonna do? Like, okay, that was fine. You gotta kill and kid yourself. Like, why are you blinking? Just attack this dude. Another kill that is put onto your head. Like, blinking triggers rupture. So yeah, you could have survived if you hadn't blinked there. Just attack him. Yeah, BH pointed that out. Okay, you got boots. Yeah, that's fine. Like, before the Gloves of Haste, either get the Blood of Strength to have some more HP, or simply make use of the boots and the additional move speed it gives you, so you can farm up quicker. Okay, now all of them are coming to you. That's good. That's fine. I can understand the thought process they had behind going offensive try, giving Earthshake a lot of farm, because he can simply get an early Blink Dagger and fuck around with PL. As well as with the Slark, because he has a lot of AoE. But, well, you see, like, this guy is not going for a Blink Dagger, he's going to Blink. I think the Blink Dagger, he's going for Shadow Blade. I think the Blink Dagger is way better at this scenario, because you can simply, yeah, be there. Okay, what do you have? Still no TP, and it's gonna cost you again, I guess. Oh no, you can... Oh, yeah, okay. So the Mana Void in the end paid off. So you made a good decision. But I don't think it's worth it to get like 3 points in the Blink deck. 2 points would have been enough, for me at least. If you use it correctly, you should be more than fine with just 2 points. Even in a bad lane, you should be fine with just 2 points. And the Mana Break is also something that helps you farm up, because jungle creeps usually have mana, like basically all of them have mana, except for the lions maybe. So you should be able to farm them in the meantime, especially like when you have a little bit tank ability and a little bit of ring of health. Another factor, or another thing I want to talk about is that it could also been an option to go for a Vanguard instead in the early game. It delays your Battle Fury by a lot, I know that, but with a Vanguard you're more able to fight in the early game, and yeah, it could have given you a little bit more farm in the early game to be a little bit better at fighting. And also with the Vanguard you can start jungling in between when your team does not have anything else to do. Right here you definitely miss about 500 damage on the tower, like when the golem hits the tower and you hit the tower all the time, and your catapult would have lived for longer duration, would have definitely attacked the tower more often. Okay, you do well here. Only thing I don't like is that you stay on agility with the power treads instead of going for HP, because right now you burn more HP than when you first trigger the power treads and then use it. Yeah, you don't swap them around now. Okay, you do, but actually you're dead when she ults you. Okay, yeah. Lucky for you, she waited way too long. She could have killed you there, even if she just has ult level 1. But the Morlock's gonna die. Yeah, I think it's okay to go back there. Gonna speed up a little since you're just sitting in base. Okay, this is something I cannot understand, and I told you, I think, in the PA game where we already met up and talked about. You're doing the same mistakes like I told you in the PA game. I'm not sure why you're still here. All the time you come back and go to the top lane where the bloodseeker is just babysitting you or babysitting against you. And whenever you are there, he basically just ults you and you have to go away again. So you should definitely be swapping to the bot lane. Even if it is if it's pushed in like that, maybe not, but like there's nothing you can do in the top lane with the bloodseeker, with the bloodseeker being there all the time. Deny the range creep, deny the range creep, deny yeah, okay. At least right now you're keeping him low on mana, like the bloodseeker's ult is pretty expensive, 200, that's like half of his mana pool. So you should be burning his mana all the time. Like you're putting so much time to waste, which you can use burning his mana, and you should definitely be doing that. Okay, yep. Against the bloodseeker, especially when he's low on mana, you can also push in the lane because he does not have anything else in auto attacking, which he can put against you. And like he's always low on he's already low on resources. You can make use of that effect. Okay, even in a bad game like that, I do not advise you to go further, to put further points into spell shield. Like, just think about it. Who's the threat to you? Is it Puck and Lina you can escape from by using Blink, so you can dodge their initiation and their stuns and a lot of their magic spells, and you can simply wait for them? Or is it rather the Bloodseeker who can early on just use the Rupture on yourself, which is pure damage, so either way if you get spell shield it does not affect anything. I think it just throws you back. If you get further points into spell shield, you will be absolutely useless in the mid game, and you cannot like fight properly because you do not burn mana. Like just the mana burn or the mana break and the mana void alone deal so much damage in team fights, especially in the early game, since you deal way more damage, that you should be using them. Okay, you're doing fine here. You should have. Okay, now you're staying still. That's good. You reacted accordingly, but like this dude should not have enough mana to do anything. Okay, he's there. Instead, you. Okay, yeah, at least you try to go into the tower. Okay, this Bloodseeker gets it. This was pretty greedy, and you're probably gonna die for it. Yeah, sure. Like even if the Bloodseeker could have been killed, you gotta ask yourself, is it really worth it? Like, which position are you? You're position 1, so that means you have the highest farm priority, and you should always be the guy farming. Also, as said before, you really need gold in order to get the Battle Fury. And let's see, did this give you any gold? Okay, you have 1,320 gold before. Then the bloodseeker almost dies, and he dies. You go in, and you lose 200 gold. Like, this is definitely not worth it. Even if you hadn't killed him at all, you would have had more gold. Like, he gave you 40 gold or something like that. He wasn't even tracked, so it was pretty dumb. This was also dumb. Like, she's gonna die now, but oh no, she even survives. She plays good. Like, she used the bottle in between. Oh, okay, yeah, he killed him. That's good. Like, at least you got the leaner, but yeah, it doesn't benefit you at all. And yeah, this is like I talked about it earlier. You're going back to top again. Like, you know you're put into danger, and you go there over and over and over and over, and you never even swap your boots out of the agility. Like, you rarely use it. You just gotta increase your HP with that. I think you should be at over 1,000 HP when you switch your power treads to strength. So this is part of why your game in the early game went so shitty. You went all the time to the top lane. You didn't swap your boots accordingly, especially when you're just farming jungle creeps. You should definitely be going to strength. Yeah, you do not carry TPs in order to counter the bloodseeker. You could have avoided more than a single death with that. I mean, 2 or 3 deaths could have been avoided for sure with that. Yeah. Oh, you finally leave the lane. Yeah, okay. Maybe you remembered what we talked about in the other game. Okay, this is good. I like that. Pretty greedy. You have no vision around that area, but going that far might be a little bit too greedy. Yeah. Okay, you can make sure that you still take the last hits. In between, like, instead of killing the creeps, you could also just hit the tower because the worth. Like, if you deal 500 damage to the tower, it's, for me, it has a lot of a higher net worth or worth. Like, it's more worth it than killing the creeps a little bit faster. You can just last hit it. Okay, right here. I don't think you need to be that careful. You have 3 people around the middle lane. You still have a chaotic offering here. You still have the slow. You still have a bounty hunter track. So you could be going in because she's pretty low on mana. And if you just think about it, if you instantly mana void her, you're gonna do like 1,400.0.6, so 800 damage minus 25%. So basically you're going to deal 600 damage. If you attack her twice or 3 times before, she will lose another 150, so you can instantly pop 800 of her health. And then you have the warlock who can slow her down and keep her in place. You should have been able to kill her there, especially since the blood. Oh no, that's a bug. I think the bloodseeker. I thought the bloodseeker used the rapture before on the bounty hunter, but it was a bug. Okay, yeah, you're farming jungle now. That's okay. Like, this is what I would do as well. Like, you do not see enemies around. You didn't see them before. Only the lean and mid. You do not have any vision at all, which is kind of sad, but yeah. Okay, I think you do this now until you get the Battle Fury. Okay, right here you start fights. This is good, like, whenever you can participate. Unless you can really do something, you did something there, so it's fine. Okay, you got the Battle Fury now. I think at least you should definitely be carrying TPs. I think this is something I pointed out in a previous session as well.
I'll take that.
Yeah, stuff like that is pretty greedy, but yep, okay, this TP was also greedy. Never blink out of a puck like that. Like, just have you ever watched EG, like the final in the international where EG threw that hard? I think it was EG, like they TP'd with 3 people, and then there came a puck to defend their base after they pushed in the enemy's base, and then there was a puck alone defending, and he simply ran up to them, and it was somewhere around that area. And he ran up to him and just dream coiled 3 people and broke all of their TPs, which instantly resulted in all of them dying. Okay, there's no point in running. Like, when you get that, you don't have a TP, where's the point in running? You're gonna die anyway, so just it's at least run out of the silence and attack him, or just attack him all the time, because he would have taken damage. The Sunstrike from Invoker would have helped you there, stuff like that. Okay, what is these guys? Okay. Even though I think you should still be ahead in net worth over the other carries. Like, even though you said your game went that bad, you're still higher in net worth than the enemy's cores. So at least your offensive tri lane paid off. Does this guy have a blink dagger yet? Nope. Okay, didn't get one. Not sure why though. I'm not sure what's better than why it should be better to get a Shadow Blade when you already have an Invis character and you have like these low HP scouts. Okay, this was just dumb. Your team wasn't there to come with you, so you went in alone and died, and without doing anything, like just killing the PA who's low in net worth right now. Bam bam bam. Okay, this was good. This was good. This was fine. Yeah, she denied herself, but she could have denied herself earlier at least to save the puck, because she was dead anyways. Okay, you shouldn't be that offensive when you do not have a TP. I said before, I would like, most of the time you should be in HP mode instead of going for agility. Okay, yeah, you run way too long, like, and your blinks are really odd, like in that certain situation. Okay, let's see, where do you get ruptured? Bloodseeker comes, finds you here. Why do you blink there? Just blink up the tree, and he cannot attack you. Even if someone comes, like, they need to commit and give him vision and stuff like that, and you just die there again. And this is simply because you do not wait till you have the TP off cooldown. Like, with a hero as flexible as, okay, I don't think getting a recipe before is ever worth it unless you're in a threat of dying and want to waste your unreliable gold. This is just like I said before, you instantly go in there without really thinking, and then you just simply get bursted down by Leaner. Okay, you deal a lot of damage, that's fine, but definitely not worth it. Like, in addition to the Rex, you should have waited for the Invoker. In addition to the Rex, you now gave them another kill. So, yeah. It was just stupid. Just wait for the Invoker next time. He can buff you up to increase your damage with the Alacrity, since you already got the Aghanims, stuff like that. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, Greedy Bounty Hunter. Sunstride was committed, not hit, not connected, I think. Okay, what you're gonna do now? Yet again, as said, you should be walking to lanes in order to have a TP scroll ready. Even if it costs you much, like it costs you more gold if you die all the time to Bloodseeker, because you can. Yeah, as said in the drafting at the beginning, he's a high threat to you. Most of the things I already said, like threat swapping. I'm gonna speed up a little since you're not doing anything. Okay, fights like these are really paying off. And this is not like, as you said, your team did certain things that made you win in the end. One of those things is definitely like keeping the slug and the PL low. Even though you had such an horrible early game and you are below your support, you are still over the enemy's cores or carries, so or over PL and Slark, which really helped you to stay in the game for a longer duration.
conversation starter. How are you doing at bottom tower?
Okay, you start split pushing, that's good. You saw
Dyer's
the enemies in the mid lane, that's good. And this is what I say, like this guy doesn't even have a diffuser and you still need a lot of time to kill him. Okay, don't prioritize the freaking illusion over the tower. Tower should be what you're going for. Especially when you just run around using mana all the time, use the blink, make sure that you swap to intelligence whenever you can, so you don't use up your precious mana. But swapping is really something you can work on. I'm gonna write that in my summary at least.
I'm going to be sick.
Yeah, okay. Bloodseeker's in the mid lane, so it's okay to go a little bit further. Like, just whenever you do not, or you are not in the risk of taking damage, you should be going to the, for instance, like right now you can go for agility, kill all those creep waves. Yeah, here definitely drop the aggro. If you simply use the A command, the attack command onto one of your creeps, you can drop the aggro. And you don't have to run out of range in order to do so. Oh. Okay, at least you got the tower, not even 89, so that's good. Like, a little bit risky, like a good player could have denied that one, but you survived. Okay, you got a Mantis now, which is fine. Like, I think the Mantis is a good idea.
Dyer's structures have been fortified.
Because it's just like so essential to anti-mage to purge the silences off. Yet I think that there was not the obvious need to get a whole mentor. What you usually want to do after the farming item is to get fighting items. And Yasha is definitely something an anti-mage should always get, because it's just so efficient on him. He has a lower base attack speed, so he benefits more from even further attack speed items. And like the mobility and the armor and the damage, everything's great about the Yasha on anti-mage. But I don't think you obviously needed that mentor that bad in this game, since since what was I about to say? Oh yeah, since like there's not much you can debuff right now. The Bloodseeker's ult is not purgeable, cannot be dispelled. The Puck Silence can be dispelled, and yeah, not the Lina stun obviously, you cannot dispel stuns with it. So I think that the Yasha would have been enough here. Like, you could have gotten the Aghanims earlier. Let me just quickly check something. What does the axe on anti-mage do? And avoid Aghanim Scepter. Cause a spell sheet to passively block and reflect attacks. Okay, so yeah, the decision for Aghanims is good. Like, you're not only gonna block the the Bloodseeker ult and a lot of other single target spells every 12 seconds, but instead like throw them back at them, so it's fine. Like, in some situations it's not that good to get a spell shield, to get the axe, for instance, against something like a Spirit Breaker, because you will be charging at him then. You can cancel it, but if he ever does this unpredictably, yeah, it might end up bad. So axe is a good decision. I like that. You have a lot of disabled, so you can already hit people, and yeah, you get essential kills like that. That's good. Make sure to manage your mana a little bit better. Like, yeah, I talked about that one before. Like, the Puck was dumb to let you take the tower there, but you get out. Everything's fine. Yeah. This is something you want to do. Like, if they chase you, everything's good, as long as you do not die. Okay, right now you should Like you are getting back into net worth, even if the enemy still has a lead. You're getting better and better. You make the right decisions now, even if they are greedy because you have no vision, but they are certainly the right decisions. Rum bum 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 bum. Okay, they see her. They're gonna kill her. Yep, that's okay. Yeah, you start farming. That's good. You start pushing. That's good.
I'll take that.
Like that. Okay, that was good. Okay. Right here, you get scared because the puck ults you and silences you. But if you right now, you can instantly get rid of the like you can get rid of the Slark leash. You can get rid of the Dream Coil thingy with simply using the the Dream Coil not, but the Slug thingy with using the Mantra. Yeah, don't need to be scared as much. Okay, that was greedy going after the Slug when he didn't pop his ult. You can just right now you can simply turn around and hit him. Okay, the bloodseeker is coming. So good decision to go back. But I think at a time like that, you should be instantly TPing back. Like the initial damage from bloodseeker, bloodseeker's rupture is not going to kill you, since you have damage block. So since you have the spell shield, so there's no need to be rushing. You can simply use the TP because he cannot stop you from TPing out. So a lot of time wasted there going back all the time. Okay, not sure why you stand here. Probably just a misclick. Yeah, which cost you the Rex. Pretty much. Yeah, that was good. Got another kill. Dum 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 dum. What are you gonna do? Gonna run around, farm. Okay, this is okay. You could also, you could be gathering and do stuff instead. But you recognize that you start having the upper hand, so you start being more aggressive. You could be more aggressive there, like run into the Lina and the Bloodseeker. They are not going to kill you as fast, since they cannot use their ultimates. Okay, I would not. I would ditch Puck as a target, as first priority target, since she has easy ways of escaping. Instead, I would go for the Lina as my first target, because of like she does not have escape mechanisms. She didn't buy any items to move around and stuff like that, and her stun has such a huge cast time that when you see her casting, you can. I'm pretty sure you can use the blink in order to dodge it. So Lina should be your first target. And with fights like these, this is exactly what you meant. Like you were able to get back into the game. Like watch how you little by little get back into the game and recover from the bad early game you had. Okay, Basher, standard item, fine.
Tis mine.
Okay, you do good as in identifying the permanent target, and you get a lot of gold out of killing the illusions. Yeah, they are making mistakes like that, which is good. Okay, this is like why I said you can get the Vanguard earlier, like physical, magical, but you reduce the magical damage already, but then she can deal a lot of physical damage, and you reduce that by a Vanguard early on. And anyways, you're gonna transition the Vanguard into a Basher most likely on any mage. So I think on an anti-mage it's also an opportunity to get a Vanguard when you have a really hard early game. That was good. I'm not sure to pop the Mantra there, but you can just use it to push the lane, so it's good. Okay, this guy Got a huge range tornado. Yeah, you missed out a little bit on the on a few creeps there. This is why your lane is stagnating as much. The bounty should definitely be there to give you some vision. Just like whenever there's someone he can hold on, you get some vision. Okay, not sure why you are scared there. Yeah, this is what you try to TP out at least. But you need to make sure that the stuns have been popped before, so we'll keep an eye on that next time. I'm not sure why. Yep, that's good. You can tank with those all the time. Like just all those minions and spawns can take or deal a lot of damage to the tower. You're dead for a long time. It's okay. At least you save for buyback now. This is definitely a good decision. Ugh. Okay, what you're gonna do now? You farm. I'll push out the side lanes where you lost the Rex. According to the situation, I would either keep the Basher or the Vanguard in. You get 2 huge kills there. I don't think you have to go back now. You can simply push, 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 push. This is what you're doing. You push, 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 push. Then you rotate to top. You could be pushing there as well,
I'll take that.
instead of just running around, farming again. You could have stayed longer on the lane and then, like, instead of walking all the way back and this route, you could just walk like that. Rumble, 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 rumble. There you're farming. But this is basically the point where you got back into the game. Like, their Slark and their PL are still extremely poor, and you can simply overpower them. Like, both of these guys do not have a real effect in the game, and so you are raised stronger. Yeah, you start recognizing it. Yeah, this is greedy, but like, you have the Aegis. I would wait with I would be more careful with having the Mage and the Abyssal when my Aegis pops, because I think it's just like better to have those. If the enemy did play correctly, they would have disabled again when you came up, but they did not, so you end up winning the game. So to sum it up, what I think you did wrong this time is definitely some item choices in the beginning, like the Quelling Blade really cost you a lot of farm. Not getting tangos when you came back to the lane after you died the first time and went through all your region is something. Yeah, you should have gotten a PMS pretty early. Boots help you in order to run around a little. And the biggest factor I see, especially in the early game, is that you did not swap the lane. So I think you should have swapped or just gone elsewhere in the earlier stages. Yeah, in the mid game, like when Warlock hit level 6, you oftentimes didn't carry a TP or it was on cooldown. You should be aware of that. And in a hard game like that, you should be using the blink dagger, especially the blink, especially when it's still on the low levels. You should be using it defensively instead of offensively. So make sure you keep it as long as possible, and whenever you do not need it, just don't use it. Another thing I think which had a big influence was not going for mana break, but instead getting a lot of points in spell shield early on. I think you got 3 points or even all of them. I'm not sure about that, but you should be getting just one point in spell shield, because 25%, 24% additional magic resistance basically doubles your magic resist. I think the basic one is 25%. So yeah, it just makes a huge difference. You get a lot less damage from magic, but 50% magic damage block is fine. and you need to consider dealing damage with the mana break as well as taking away other people's manners. Like Puck's life would have been way harder if you had 2 or 3 levels into it, and would have just constantly burned his mana. In the mid game, your team fights went better and better. You made proper decisions in pushing and split pushing, which resulted in good team fights because like one enemy was always gone. Your item decisions were good. I think you could have been like, yeah, as you said, the turning point basically was that you got the Aghanims, which stopped Leaner as well as Bloodseeker from ulting you often. So you could have just skipped the Mentor because I don't think it had a big influence before that, and just went with the Yasher and just get the Axe next. Yeah, that's basically it. Like part of the bad early game was your bad decisions and your bad item choices, but after that it got way better, and yeah, but it's basically the things I said when we last talked about replay analysis. So I hope you enjoyed watching the video, and until next time.